So today we're going to be working on some transitions in the mount. You guys are going to want to be kind of this way. Couple things we're going to be working on is transitioning to the back and transitioning to S-mount. The reason I teach these in tandem is I like my S-mount entry as a backpack setup. So it's nice to teach them kind of as a 1-2 punch, because depending on how they react to what you're doing, you're able to hit S-mount or the back here. So whenever I'm here, past couple weeks we've been working on, kind of staying back on the hips and, framing out, working on different things. Sometimes this is just not going to work. Some people go to what I always refer to as the home alone defense, right? They just kind of get here, get their hands next to their face, get their elbows in real tight, and there's not a lot of, space or places to work, right? So when they get to this, we have to start getting more and more creative. So when I get here, all I'm going to look to do, guys, is I like to grab the top of James's bald spot here, right? I'm just going to cap the top of that bald spot here and curl them up just that little bit. As I get there, I'm just going to start walking my knees up just that little bit. What that's going to allow me to do is pick one of two options. For me, I like to keep that little almost like Muay Thai plum clench here. I like to post my opposite hand, slide all my weight and my knee up. So I'm going to slide everything up here and post here. That's going to allow me to swing my other leg under, and I'm going to be right here in that S-mount. Nice part with this is it's going to open up a pretty nasty options bar as far as what you're able to do here. Right? So that's why I like to get here. So if I'm working with James, I'm here, I'm trying to do things, it's just not working. Boom, I'm just going to come here, and I'm going to start walking my feet up. When I do that, I have to keep my feet and my knees tight to his body, and I want to drive my knees and my thighs underneath his elbows here. Because if my knees go real wide, James is just going to frame and a knee escape like we did last week. So when I get here, I'm driving those knees, driving those thighs under. As soon as I feel comfortable, boom, I get here. All right? Questions on this part of the options bar?
Yeah, I got a question. How do you get the arms up?
That's why driving your thighs is the important detail here. Because when I'm here, James is naturally going to keep his elbows in here, right? So it's almost like I'm creating little ramps with my knees and thighs. So like when I get here, I'm walking my knees up and driving them underneath his elbows. If his arms are stronger than your legs, we've picked our opponents poorly. Go to a different option. But you should be able, if you're walking those legs up tight, to drive those elbows forward and drive those legs underneath. Once you get here, guys, a couple things you want to focus on. One, the planted knee has to stay pinched here. And I'm keeping a good solid knee pinch here. James is mildly uncomfortable right now, right? My weight's on his chest, this is uncomfortable. James, describe the difference when I just pinch my knees together.
Okay, still sucks.
I'm tight, I have better control now. This is what's going to allow you the multiple submission options when you get here. All right, questions on getting to the S-mount? No, yours. All right, so we're here. Turn your head that way. Boom, we're going to work on getting up here. Boom. Now, nice part is when you get to this S-mount, boom, you're already set up for a couple submissions pretty quickly. See how James naturally started crossing his arms? Most people are going to do that, right? So when they cross their arms, all you're going to do is pick whichever arm's on top. You're going to look to, for me, it's this arm here. I'm going to look to shift my weight over, windshield wiper the knee, take the arm bar. Nice part is if James switches his arms here, because he's like, hey, I don't want this arm, it's very easy to get arm barred. That's fine. All you do here, switch, cross to the other arm bar. So all I want you guys to do is one, practice sliding up to that S-mount and then doing both arm bars there. So the way it should work, you slide up to the S-mount, arm bar left, arm bar right, switch. Questions on that? Okay.
Sorry, I get up here, I get to S-mount, and somehow
Equal parts both probably would be my guess. Couple things that are gonna get you are they rolling you towards your S side or to the post side?
I don't think it matters. It's both.
They just go? Then yeah, it's probably your pressure. So when I get here, a couple things you want to be focusing on detail-wise. One, that knee pinch, because that's going to start to create pressure. But two, not leaning over the top of them. One of the big mistakes I see a lot of people make is they get real leany whenever you get to, I don't know a better word for that, but where everyone wants to kind of be way over the top of people. Problem is, where's all my pressure at right now, James?
Feels good, yeah. It's over here.
It's over the top of him, where when I'm here, I have all my pressure in his chest. He can still move his legs and his hips, which can still create me problems, but it's a much easier to balance and post and do things if I keep all my weight centered. Zen monk, deep breath center.
Are you cool with us staying on top and taking the arm bar from side?
As far as
Sort of, yeah, sliding up and taking it from right there instead of going over.
you can, yes, I don't prefer it, but that is a stylistic choice, not a technical choice.
Why is it that you don't prefer it?
I have better options to move by going full side.
Okay.
That
So take the options on the side.
Yeah, because for me, and what he's asking is, why do I go here
Yes.
as opposed to driving up and staying over the top? For me, I will come here because like we worked armbar, 2 weeks ago? When I get here, my options bar is pretty wide, where if I lose the arm driving over the top, you basically have scramble back to top. Where if I get here, let's say I grab Big Mike today, right? And I just don't feel I start going here and I just don't like what's happening. I can come back up into this, where if I stay here and I start driving and taking the arm bar this way, if I lose it, it's back into scramble gauge into other problems. So for me, I like sitting off to that side because I'm going to have Kimura trap, bicep slice, armbar switch side, go. I can go double armbar. Like, I feel my options bar is better at that point from that position. Thank you.
You go to take the arm and you go back to get points and go out going out.
You dismount it.
Okay.
So whenever you're looking at, do I get points again? Who caused the action? So I dismount to take the armbar. Nothing. I dismount to take the armbar. He bucks and moves. We kind of end up in a scramble, and then I retake mount? Maybe. But even then, you dismounted is the problem.
Pivoting on Kat's first question, when you get tipped and you said people get leaning.
Yeah.
I feel like that's me, but I'd get leaning when I start attacking and like using my body to kind of hit arms and stuff.
So
Is there a way not to do
big
that?
thing when I get to S mount here, like let's say I'm here and I've decided that arm bar is my best option. This arm's on top, therefore I get that. You still want to keep your legs engaged. So like when I get here, if I want this arm up more, I'm not going to lean and start moving it. I'm going to use my knee. So you have to start learning how to use your legs more. So if the other arm's on top, like this, I'm not going to lean real heavy to come here. I'm going to look to drive him over, and then that's going to give me better positioning to take that arm. So using those legs to reposition James in this S mount is going to become very important. So when I'm here, the control of, I can drive this knee up and pop him up, right? My pressure's still all on James, right? Nothing has changed. But I'm able, with just a little bit of knee positioning, I can maneuver my legs, hips, and knees to get him into the position that I want, right? That's where you have to start. That's where S mount becomes complicated. How many of you guys have been on like TikTok and seen the Matt Made series? By an Asian guy out of Atlanta. I learned S mount from him, oddly enough. Super cool guy. I was like a white belt and he was a black belt at the time. He taught me a bunch of stuff one day. He just happened to be traveling into town. But his thighs, I'm not kidding you, his thighs are like 2 of mine. He's the most incredible legs I've ever seen on a man. In a slightly erotic way. Like, it was crazy. He was one of those guys that he got to S mount on me. And now, granted, I think I might have been a blue belt. I panicked. That's how tight and heavy his S mount was. He got here and he was just like, "You're done." And then you panicked and tapped. That is exactly what happened. And I was like, we got done at the end of class. I was like, hey man, I hate to bother you. Like, I know you're traveling. He's like, what? I was like, can you show me some S-mount stuff? And he spent probably 30 minutes with me. It was great. But his big thing was it's all in your hips and legs. Being able to manipulate that space is what is going to allow you to attack while staying heavy pressure. Does that make sense? So, what I want you guys working on, scooting up, getting that S-mount more naturally. Once you get there, working on arm barring either side. All right? 1, 2, 3.
From Japan anyway.
So,
Gotta call them all one tomorrow.
boom, I'm here. I get to this position, right? So boom, I scoot up, I go S, and I get here, and a couple things that we were struggling with. One was getting our bottom leg out when going for these arm bars, right? So when I get here, couple things that you guys can do to help yourselves here. When I'm transitioning to this side arm bar, couple things you can do. One, focus on getting this leg into position first, then trapping out this leg. So when I get here, I'm gonna come off here and then follow this leg over. If you are struggling with that, a couple other things you can do is just drive this knee up. It makes it a little more natural for that leg to come out.
We do that again.
So what I was doing then is I was taking my bottom knee over and then flipping my top.
Yeah.
Because I kept getting stuck there. Okay.
So all you need to do, boom, I get here. If I'm attacking the S side arm, just drive that knee forward. And that.
And drop it back into that space.
Because I want to come here towards the leg because it stops hit tight. If he goes to go here and hit tight, I can stay with him. So that's just a detail I saw 90% of us mess up, which means it was probably my explanation on that one. So I get here, boom. Now, when you get here, some people are going to have what I like to refer to as a panic response. You get here, they don't know what's happening, so they kind of just start to buck and move. But what a lot of them will do is they'll reach up and just wrap around your waist. So they'll go here and they'll just start trying to buck and roll and do stuff, right? And that's great for me because it makes a couple options really simple and really easy. One is just an elbow pinch component. So I'm here, all I'm going to do is reach my elbow into his elbow, right? I'm going to connect my gable grip behind his elbow, and then depending on how friendly we are, I'm going to turn the opposite direction of that elbow. Now, if we're friends like James and I are, because we're friends today, I think.
Yeah.
Good. All I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my chest up and start to turn here, and you'll hear a tap. Now, if I don't like James, I'm going to connect my hands. I just like to see the face. And you toe here. Big thing is you get your hands connected right under his elbow. As soon as you come here, I drive my chest up and then turn.
You keep ballerina toes the whole time.
Yep.
You don't tiptoe.
Because I don't have to drive over the top of this. So, like I said, depending on how friendly you are, how fast you want to turn. If you need a new enemy in life, grip and rip, you can go. Now, if you don't like this one, because this one takes a little bit of feel and a little bit of motion, or you just need a new enemy. A lot of people, when they grab up to that waist, they just forget that there are a lot of other options here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to remind James that he should have had a V8. Stop here, pull my leg over, go plata. Then all you do is pressure through, and you've got the arm trap during it.
Can you get that if they're not around you?
It's harder because generally their arms are in the way.
Yeah.
So like if James is here, can I get? Yes, it's just harder because these are generally disruptive to what you're up to. So I like to do it especially when a guy reaches up and is trying to like work up here. All I'll do is come here and work. So I want you guys working both of those. Evan?
With that yoga, like, are you able to, if their arms are packed, are you able to just kind of, like, if you're here, can you just still kind of drive through?
Oh yeah, because if he reaches up and he's really got just like a deep grip on me, right? Because some guys are going to try to sit up here and try to make it really difficult for you to stay. All I have to do is start driving his forehead back. Because if I'm here Another one, you have to be careful with how you post. You cannot close your hand in this one. The Cosby choke, you can go there. Here, boom, pass over, and go there. I prefer the V8 because I have better control of his full face. So like for me, I'm always just going to drive that forehead over, pop, bring it in. And then if he turns his face, guess what that also opens up? Arms attacks. There's a lot of multi-attacks here of just like, you're in Fucksville. I just get to decide which street we go down.
Did you just pinch your elbow to him?
Oh, that hurts
Yeah,
too.
this is an arm lock.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a reverse arm lock. You can just add a little pressure, or if you pack it
Tap.
here. There's a dozen. Guys, realize we're scratching the surface here. I did it one night. I think there's 50 subs, depending on how many variants you want to consider individual subs. But like I can do an elbow pinch armbar here.
Oh, tap,
Reverse,
tap, tap.
elbow pinch. Reverse this way. Like, there's an options bar that goes for a minute if you want to get into it. I'm giving you guys some of the basics attacks, so that way you can play in this position comfortably and find what works best for you. So what I want you guys to do, work that elbow pinch and that go-go. So we're here, boom, I connect my hands right underneath the point of his elbow. I bring up and turn. Good. Boom, I'm here. Oh,
Can I see your grip on your elbow while you're doing it?
boom, I'm here. All I'm trying to do is, if you feel that little point, the kind of knob on the inside of the point of your elbow, I'm trying to find that with the thumb, and then I'm gripping right there. Boom, and then head post into a go-go as option 2.
Different grips there?
The only other grip I'll go to there is if I don't feel comfortable with the hand lock, I'll just go here and pinch and turn. But that one just has a little looser and it's just a little wiggly. So if you're gonna go to that one, what I always like to do is he'll lock his hands here. I'll always come here and go, but I prefer just to find it with my thumb and lock. All right.
What way do you say you push your head down?
Like
that.
Boom, or you can go there. The big thing when you go palm to throat, over-exaggerate how wide your hand is if you ever do that.
Okay, so you can't do.
You can never, at no point are you ever allowed to close your hand around the throat. Weird rules. But we can choke each other every other way known to man, but you can't close your hand, right? So if I do it, I over-exaggerate. Like I try to like curl my fingers backwards to show that I'm posting out. But, all right, drill it out. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. So I get here and I'm working, right? Let's say I start working up to start going for this S mount, and for whatever reason I'm just not confident in it, or this is a bluff, right? Sometimes that'll happen. One of my favorite ways to bluff is to just start scooting up, because naturally it's gonna let me grab right behind, and I always like to find that gift wrap if possible, right? Here. So I start walking my feet up. I may start with the gift wrap or I may look for it in the middle, right? But as soon as I get this gift wrap, guys, all I'm gonna do is take James's back. So I'm here, I'm gonna post this foot up like it's coming for S mount. But instead, I'm gonna scoop my arm under, sit back, take James's back. Now, once you get there, you have a couple options. You can go body triangle, because it's, for most of us, gonna be set up, except those of us that are blessed with short legs. But if not, you just pack your feet up. So we're here. Boom, I'm working with James. I'm gonna start scooting up. Oh man, I got this nice little backpack. Post this foot up. I'm going to scoop James up, over, pull him in. Put my feet in, score your points, go from there. That's why I like teaching this as a 1-2 tandem, because depending on his reaction, I can take S mount or the back.
You still have to have hooks in before you go to body triangle though, right?
Correct, yes, you do.
Points.
For most tournaments, yes. For you to get points, you have to go hooks first.
It's crazy.
Listen, if I ruled the world, that would be different, but I don't, unfortunately, so here we are.
So wait, so you don't score points if you go straight to body triangle?
If you body triangle, that is technically not the back. Listen, all tournaments are different rule sets. And if you ever wonder why each tournament's rule set is different, just imagine you're a black belt that goes to an IBJJF tournament and you hate a rule, so then you start your own tournament series and you change that one rule. That is the origin of 90% of most jiu-jitsu competitions. That's how Fuji, Naga, Grappling Industries, a lot of them started was the founding black belt didn't like XYZ rule at IBJJF, started their own. Yeah. So if I, Dustin, ever start the Bam Bam Grappling Series, backpack, if you have body triangle or hooks, it wouldn't matter. That still scores. But I'm not starting that anytime soon.
What's Corey gonna say?
I have no idea. I'm not Corey. I think he's very lenient towards IBJJF rules because, I don't know. He's an old man.
He's old.
No heel hooks.
No heel hooks
No
because
heel
he's
hooks
an old
till
man.
black belt.
And the future's now. So, but yeah, so that's what we got. Questions on this? It's very simple, but I want to make sure we have a good grab on it. Jason? Yeah. So when I get here, couple details I want to emphasize. One, when you get here, the gift wrap is nice, but not necessary, right? So if I get here and I can't seem to get my hand wrapped around gift wrap, I'm just going to wrap my hand around here, come up, and start taking here. It's just a little bit looser. But that is technically not the back. As dumb as a rule as I think that is, it is not. But when we're here, like I said, I like to, as I'm coming up here, look for that gift wrap underneath. Just makes for a very nice transition. But, alrighty, driller out. 1, 2, 3.